Get ready with me. My baby is napping in the back and my foot is currently on the brake. We have a lot of catching up to do. Let's recap Kalani's wedding, traveling to Europe, jet lag, house hunting, baby number 3, all the things. For starters, my biggest fear in traveling to Europe came true, and that was being hungry. I had quite literally an entire suitcase full of just snacks. We stayed in this absolutely gorgeous villa in Lake Como. There was a private chef who would make us breakfast and sometimes dinner. However, once those meals were over, there was no more food. I told you guys, I eat like 3 meals after dinner before I go to bed. So the portion sizes in Europe are definitely smaller than America. My sister and I shared a room in the villa, and literally in the middle of the night, I would wake up and eat like 2 bags of Cheez-Its, a whole thing of Chips Ahoy, a Cliff Bar, half a bag of gummy bears. She would wake up to like me like trying to open it so quietly and be like, bro, what are you doing? Us having sister arguments in the middle of the night were definitely happening. Yes, it was the middle of the night in Europe, but my body knew that it was like 6 p.m. dinner time in Arizona. When I tell you I left with 0 snacks, I absolutely mean that. One thing I did not take into consideration when traveling was the jet lag. Everybody that I talked to before I left gave us the advice to stay awake the first day so that your body can like adjust. I think the first day we were awake for over 35 hours, like not to be dramatic at all. That was pretty brutal. If you've ever been pregnant, 1, traveling is hard, and 2, not sleeping is so hard on your body. I feel like because we stayed awake, we like adjusted quickly, but then on the 3rd day, I think the jet lag smacked us in the face. Woke up at like 9 a.m. Also, I do have to add, I did not use my Zofran once on the trip. I should have used it on my flight home, but I honestly was like, I'm just gonna power through because the Zofran really does not make me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm on a cloud. Got up at like 9 a.m. I think on our 3rd day and went on this beautiful boat tour to the rehearsal, like a boat tour through the lakes of Lake Como. I don't think I'll ever see something more beautiful in my life. It literally felt like I was in a movie and like it wasn't real life. There's nothing like that in America. At least that I've seen, okay? I haven't like traveled really in America. I've been to like the West Coast. I think we got back from the boat tour around like 1 p.m. My sister and I fell asleep from like 1 to 6 p.m. middle of the day, lost an entire day, but we were so tired. She obviously had like a lot of normal energy and really wanted to like explore the country and the town. My body couldn't do it, and I was just so happy to like be there. And just the villa that we were staying at was like an experience in itself, and I didn't need anything more than that. Wedding days are truly so magical. As you guys know, I used to be a wedding planner, so being a part of like the best day of someone's life was such an honor, and is actually something that I do miss. I've never attended a wedding, nor have I ever planned a wedding where everything went completely as planned. We had a little mishap that could have turned into a very big mishap on Kalani's wedding day. Let me tell you, God works in amazing ways, and that little mishap turned into quite literally the best thing that ever could have happened on her wedding day. I'll let her share that story. I'm pretty sure she posted something about it on Instagram. Italy was amazing. The wedding was amazing. Traveling home was a venture, to say the least. I think I realized while I was on that trip that taking my kids out of the country is honestly something that like I have no desire to do. Some moms and families absolutely love traveling with their kids, and I think that is so amazing. Personally, I grew up in a family where we did not even go as far as like Hawaii until I was 17 years old. That was my first time ever traveling out of the country aside from going to Mexico, and I am 26 now. As a kid, my favorite vacations were going to the cabin with my family and going to our annual Newport trip. I think we'll do the same for our kids until we feel like they're at an age where they can really appreciate another country. Travel day was so hard on me. However, kids are like so resilient and have so much more energy. The whole time I was doing it, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine if my kids were with me. And everyone experiences life differently, and I actually have so many friends who travel like all over the world with their kids, and I'm so inspired by them, but I just don't know if that is like my journey. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on traveling with kids out of the country or just doing like annual vacations that are close by home. How's house hunting going? So I have been, honestly, I feel like very private about this whole situation. Of course, I've shared with you guys that we are looking for a new home. There's probably been moments in the past where I've shared too much. I don't really say anything until we've actually bought the house and we're moving. The process of actually purchasing the home is a crazy long process, and there's there's a lot of time for things to completely fall through. Basically, I don't want to share anything until the home is completely ours. So I haven't shared any of the places that we're looking at because people on here love to look up listings, addresses, and all of those things, which absolutely terrifies me. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated, but the goal is to move before baby number 3 is arrived. Speaking of baby number 3, he or she is measuring right on time. We saw him or her via ultrasound. It's so weird. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to know the gender so I can just like call it a him or a her. So surreal when you see the baby like moving around and it like actually looks like a little baby and not just like a little tiny egg. While you're showing and like absolutely massive and feeling the baby like push on your stomach, it really doesn't like fully settle in. I don't know if this is obvious or maybe it's just like an internal thing, but I feel like I've been kind of in like a content rut recently, or maybe I've just been like second guessing absolutely everything I post. I don't know, figure out like what I want to post and what I enjoy posting. I also feel like I've just been so tired. So like, why am I not posting morning vlogs? Because I'm like just sleeping all morning. Tristan has literally carried our family through this whole pregnancy so far. When I tell you he wakes up both the boys, he makes them breakfast, he gets them dressed, he does their hair, I drive Camp to school, he puts Key down for his nap, and then I get home from dropping Camp off at school and like then start my day. Anyways, I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but if you are somebody who creates content, you're a content creator or you're an aspiring content creator, just know that it is completely normal to like go through little ruts and creative ruts. Like a year ago, if I was in a little creative rut, I would just like push through it and maybe post stuff that didn't feel like authentically me. I've gotten to a place where I feel like I protect my mental health so much more, and if I don't feel like posting, then I'll just take a little break. Sometimes I feel in the rat race of chasing the algorithm and wanting the algorithm to be on my side and being so worried if I don't post 3 times a day. Management always reminds me, we're not saving lives here, they're just silly little videos online, and your mental and how you feel in your real life matters way more. So yeah, I've gotten to a really good place of just posting what really makes me happy. It feels so good and I feel way more at peace, and it feels so good and I feel like I'm just always genuinely being me. My European travel really quick, I got so many comments that were like, how were you hungry on the plane? Don't they serve you food? Yes, they serve you food, but if you've ever been pregnant, you know like food aversions are such a real thing, and if something does not sound good, you cannot force yourself to eat it. I did eat the veggie Hot Pocket because I was absolutely desperate, but I was trying to avoid the food at all costs. So excited that we're finally in the season of holidays. Well, it's like almost October, and then I feel like it's the season of holidays. Last year on October 1st, I surprised Camp with a boo basket, and it's something that I want to do every single year, but I'm like, oh my gosh, October 1st is literally next week and I have not even thought about it. So I need to jump on that. I need to figure out what we're going to be for Halloween. My parents throw a Halloween party every single year before Halloween, and at that party we do a family costume, and then for actual Halloween I let the kids be whatever they want. I think Camp is gonna want to be Spider-Man this year, which he was Spider-Man last year, and it was only because that was like the only costume that was left at Party City, and this year he actually loves Spider-Man, ironically. I get him a new different costume, and I feel like this year he'll actually want to wear the mask. So I think like he would be so cute as Baby Hulk or just something in the like Marvel character. I don't even know. I don't know anything about Marvel, or what's the other one? DC. I don't watch any of those movies. I feel like I'm getting like hit in the face the entire time I'm watching them. But now that I have boys, I probably have to like lean into that a little bit more. Actually home this year for Christmas. We're traveling for Thanksgiving because it's Tristan's family's year for Thanksgiving, but this Christmas will be our very first Christmas that we wake up in our own home. Since Tristan and I have been married, we've been traveling for Christmas every single year, but we finally made the decision. Both my family and his family are celebrating Christmas a weekend before the actual day of Christmas. That way we can spend the holiday with our kids, and if they want to come visit, they can come visit, but we will be at home, which I think is so important to start your own traditions. Both of our parents totally agree, which is so nice because it wasn't something that was like an awkward conversation. The idea of Tristan and I playing Santa this year feels like all of my dreams coming true. I feel like when you like get pregnant, all you dream about is like putting Christmas presents under the Christmas tree and eating the cookie and like playing Santa with your husband. So I am so excited to do that. Anyways, that I think is it for my life updates currently. Vlogs are super fun, obviously, but I have been loving doing these little like car get ready with me, especially when I got a little guy sleeping in the back. Thanks for getting ready with me for the day. We're gonna pick Camp up from school in about an hour, and then I'm taking him to an indoor park with a bunch of his cousins. So we have a fun little day planned. But anyways, love you guys so much, and I love each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here, and happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Bye. So yes, my foot is literally still on the brake because my car is still in reverse.